It's a dark and stormy night on Christmas 1943, as the mighty German battleship Scharnhorst, one of the fastest ships of the Kriegsmarine, carves through the tumultuous Arctic seas. At its bridge stands the fleet commander, Conter-Admiral Erich Bay, his steely gaze fixed upon the horizon. He's on a mission, targeting a soft load of British merchant ships en route to the Soviet Union, an endeavor that could bolster the Axis supply lines. But suddenly the calm of the night is shattered as star shells illuminate the darkened sky. The eerie glow casts light upon the tumultuous waves, revealing looming shadows that strike terror into the heart of the crew. Bay squints through the driving snow, trying to make sense of the scene before him, when he suddenly sees the ominous flashes of muzzle fire erupting from British guns. The fateful moment of reckoning has arrived. As a seasoned commander, Bay is prepared to fight, but he knows his ship is outmatched against heavily armed battleships. Quickly assessing the situation, he orders the Scharnhorst to turn 150 degrees and evade the imminent danger, all while attempting to return fire upon the British vessels. As the Scharnhorst swings away, its massive aft turret, aptly named Caesar, pivots to confront the threat, unleashing a powerful salvo into the night. With the urgency of a sinking ship weighing on him, Bay commands maximum power to the engines, striving to escape the grasp of the Royal Navy's formidable guns. "Full power, we must evade," he barks as the crew hustles to comply. But the British artillery is deadly accurate, its projectiles arcing through the dark with ominous intent. The first shell finds its mark, smashing straight into the German radar station. "Damage report," Bay demands urgently. "We've lost the radar," a crew member yells back, panic creeping into his voice. "Keep firing, full power to the engines and make smoke." Bay orders a third time, his voice strained with pressure. Smoke begins to billow from the Scharnhorst as it speeds away under the covering shroud. Yet the enemy guns relentlessly pursue them, bombarding the ship with a hail of explosive shells. With each passing moment, the proximity of the British destroyers heightens gear-shifting anxiety aboard the Scharnhorst. Another enemy shell crashes into the ship's hull. "Damage report." Bay calls out again. "Superficial damage," comes the response, though concern blankets the crew like the driving snow. "Full power, they won't catch us," Bay shouts, filled with a grim determination. The Scharnhorst accelerates through the storm, still navigating blindly without radar. With the British ships hard on their heels, Bay realizes that a return to port is their only hope. "Return to port," he orders, unaware that the cruisers are not acting alone. A much more formidable British force lay waiting in the shadows. As Scharnhorst races southward, the British ships close in. Scharnhorst spotted. Course and speed 115 degrees, speed 28 knots. "I'm shadowing," a British officer transmits, signaling the imminent trap. The British trap to the south of Scharnhorst, hidden amid the dark storm, awaits the main British force. Led by the formidable HMS Duke of York. In command is Admiral Sir Bruce Fraser, Commander-in-Chief of the Home Fleet, having come personally to witness the destruction of the Scharnhorst. A satisfied smile spreads across Fraser's face as he receives confirmation that the Scharnhorst is headed directly towards their position. Their trap is set, and they are ready to spring it. As the radar flashes acknowledge the approach of their prey, Fraser meticulously orders the Duke of York to close in. "Surface vessel bearing 295. Range, 35,000 yards, he exclaims, determination glinting in his eyes. The British fleet stalks their target in the stormy Arctic waters, steadily creeping closer. 30,000, an officer calls out. "Patience," Fraser replies, his voice firm as they continue their stealthy approach. The Scharnhorst remains unaware of the impending doom lurking just out of sight. At 20,000 yards, the tension in the air is palpable. 20,000! Another crew member announces, the familiarity of the distance heightening their anticipation. "Patience," Fraser repeats with steely focus. Finally, as they close in upon their mark, 11,000. The officer cries, and Fraser orders his men to hold steady, readying them for battle. "Take aim," he commands, and the Duke of York's gigantic turrets stir to life, armed with 10 immensely powerful 14-inch main guns. "Order HMS Jamaica to fire star shells," he instructs, ensuring visibility for their lethal strike. The battle begins. Meanwhile, aboard the Scharnhorst, Bay and his men, believing they have escaped their perilous predicament, are momentarily lulled into a false sense of security. The world around them erupts into chaos as yet another star shell illuminates the darkness directly in front of them. Their attention is drawn towards the powerful muzzle flashes emerging from the Duke of York. "Fire!" Fraser commands, his voice resolute and clear. The Duke of York opens fire with a full broadside, and the men aboard the Scharnhorst witness the world erupt in splashes and shrapnel. A single 14-inch shell punches through turret Anton, the foremost turret, killing everyone inside in an instant. In a desperate maneuver to prevent catastrophic explosions from the magazines, the crew swiftly floods the second forward turret, Bruno. Bay swiftly assesses the situation and realizes they are trapped. He can't turn back due to the pursuing cruisers, and with no viable option left, he determines to escape towards the east. The Scharnhorst turns sharply to port, returning fire with everything they can muster, but for now, they only have one turret operational. The enemy artillery rains down around them, and another 14-inch shell smashes into Scharnhorst superstructure, igniting a massive fire. "Damage report!" Bay yells. "Significant damage, sir," reports one crew member. "Full power, we must maintain speed," Bay urges with a fierce determination in his voice, caring for his crew as they endure the onslaught. The crew proceeds at absolute maximum power as turret Caesar fires at the British ship, illuminating the dark night with its explosive shells. Back on the Duke of York, Admiral Fraser becomes increasingly nervous. The Scharnhorst has rapidly put distance between them and the battle. The Duke of York's guns are making fine adjustments to their aim. "Steady," Fraser instructs, his focus unyielding. The escalating battle continues as Scharnhorst's Bruno turret, now dry after flooding earlier, comes back to life, sending shells toward the enemy. A brave act amidst chaos outside. Amidst the storm, British radar operator Lieutenant Harold Bates is already aware of the precarious situation. Without radar, it's impossible to adjust their aim. The crucial equipment droops dangerously from its mount, and without waiting for orders, he makes a brave decision to climb the mast. The storm is severe, with wind and snow whipping around him, but he refuses to relent. Through sheer determination, he slowly ascends while cannon blasts shake the ship, aware that every second counts. On the decks below, no one knows what is at stake as they continue to fire into the night, their chances of hitting the German ship dwindling. Suddenly, the radar screen flickers to life once more. "Contact! Range 22,000 yards," calls one of the crew. "Radar reports Scharnhorst at 22,000 yards," another echoing voice confirms. "Correct and fire, quickly," Admiral Fraser commands, urgency lacing his tone. The Duke of York's guns adjust upward and fire. Within moments, 14-inch shells soar high into the stormy skies, traveling for what feels like an eternity before crashing down. One shell strikes the Scharnhorst, slicing through its thin upper belt armor and exploding violently within boiler room number 1. Desperation sets and Bay's heart sinks at the impact. He understands the severity of their condition. The inevitable decline. Five explosions resonate against the hull of Scharnhorst, sending tremors through the very heart of the ship. I hope that any of you ever called upon to lead a ship into action against an opponent many times superior will command your ship as gallantly as the Scharnhorst was commanded today. In the aftermath of Scharnhorst's 1,968-man crew, only 36 brave souls were plucked alive from the icy waters.